there's no end date to where I'm doing. I don't look at the next 7 years or the next 3 years. I just know that I want to snowboard as much as I can and film, do video parts, but most importantly, pass along knowledge to like the next generation and passing along like what I've found through the ups and downs and everything. And if one person can come out of that and they find that joy in it, I think that would be enough for me. I'd be stoked on that.
For this episode, we have Sage Kotsenburg. Everybody knows the storylines of Sage, you know, winning Olympic gold and winning a bunch of crazy shits. He stops competing and then just focuses on filming and backcountry. And I just wanted to focus this episode a little bit on what he's been doing currently, you know. He's almost mentoring guys more or less when it comes to like stopping competing and getting into backcountry. He's almost kind of obsessive with all the details that go into mountain safety, from building jumps, avalanche knowledge, snow science, you know, all that stuff. Another big thing with this episode is that we filmed this back in February, and since then, Sage also won natural selection, which is kind of a super big deal.
Oh my God!
Don't do it!
Holy moly, that was just an upping of the ante with that.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to talk to him about that since, you know, we had already filmed this episode.
I can see that thing at the bottom.
With that being said, welcome to Pack Heavy Chase Light with Sage Kotsenburg.
What's going on? Sage Kotsenburg from Park City, Utah, which we're gonna be cruising around the next couple of days. And I snowboard a lot.
So I got to the finals here. It's been so nice.
900 up top. Double. Oh, no,
I'm okay.
Kotsenburg 1260. Oh!
And he puts the style back in slope style.
Sage Kotsenburg wants to end it now.
Is that right?
Let's tool that up. Let's tool that up.
American Sage Kotsenburg becomes the first to strike gold in Sochi.
Oh, hi Kona. What up? Oh yeah, we got the ESPYs over here blending in with the cutlery. I think that's just Mom's vase. This is what I worked really hard for. It's collecting dust in the corner. Probably the dopest one, just collecting a little bit of dust, but the Wheaties box. First place, Mammoth. This is when I made the Olympic team.
First place Sage now. We turned the corner. Let's go to X Games.
Somehow had like the most, probably like one of the best years of my life when I was 16. Peaked a little early. Arctic Challenge, third. X Games in teen, France, silver. This was another thing I think from another Arctic Challenge. Remember those? Freestyle CH in Zurich. City Big Air, belt, third. Second place, Beijing. Another Dew Tour one. Yeah, the Arctic Challenge one. Another Dew Tour, second place. X Games, Aspen. Kind of a dinky medal, dude. Full gumball machine medals, dude. Dude, look at that second place. This thing is heavy. Not a lot of W's over here. One of the illest sponsors of all time. I was on Loctite for 2 years.
I just drill them in there as hard as I can. They're never coming loose.
The Dew Cup when I was 16, won like the overall tour, which was insane. That was like, this put me on the map.
Studio, hanging out with the man who took home the Dew Tour Cup. Everyone give it up for Sage Kotsenburg. And what?
It's in the laundry. It doesn't get much action anymore, but this is, dude, 10 years ago in 6 days. Boom. Still gold, that's nice.
So let it be known on the streets of Park City, American Sage Kotsenburg becomes the first to strike gold in...
Where's your medal? Where's your medal, Sage? Let's see it.
doing all the competitions and as you're 12, 13, 14, and so on, and then trying to get it to the point of X Games and so on. Sage used to set goals and used to put them on our refrigerator and said, I'm going to learn this trick coming to the season. He was always determined and he always made those goals. And we always talk like a goal without a plan is just a wish. So his goal was to get those tricks, and then his plan, he would put them out in front of all of us, and then he would accomplish those. So he excelled in that. And then after going through X Games for a lot of years, and then also going into the Olympics, and then kind of wanting to be making a transition out of them is a huge thing.
Stopped competing in 2016. I felt like I put in so much work to get to where I was, but then didn't enjoy being there, and put this self-doubt on myself and this imposter syndrome, or like whatever you want to call it. Just put this self-doubt and negativity towards my riding, and that's just gonna like eat you alive, you know. And I didn't really open up about it to anyone, and I felt like I just had to prove it to myself to be at a high level again, because I felt like I just had 5 years of this slump after the Olympics, which I wouldn't call it a slump now, but it felt like it in the moment.
Sage's transition from slopestyle and bigger competitions to backcountry filming has been insane to watch. Like, he pretty much podium on every contest he attended back in the days, and then he won the biggest one of them all, the Olympics. And after that he wanted to take it a different route and get into backcountry filming, and he crushed it there as well and became one of the best to ever do it, in my opinion. So
I just basically went on a warpath of internal like self-motivation to get there. But
for any athlete, transition from one thing to another is a huge commitment, because they're restarting and refocusing. He took the same thing he did for the contest and applied it to learning the backcountry, all types of stuff to educate himself. And again, his determination, he gives 110%.
It's like, I'm going all in on filming. I'm going to Avi courses. I'm gonna learn from people. Like, I spent, a whole season in Whistler just learning about snowmobiling, about snow, like how to ride natural stuff, how to build jumps, and just went from, took my ego out of it and was like, all right, well, I suck again. And time to relearn this different aspect of snowboarding that I love. And just, it was instant, not success, but gratification.
Again, I always go back to the fun thing, because we all think that it's not worth it if you're not having fun. And so he's made it fun in doing the backcountry stuff and the filming.
Yeah, I felt like I finally got back to snowboarding for why I wanted to. Nowadays, it doesn't bum me out thinking of that, because I learned so much from the ups and downs that came after. And I think you have to go through that if you go through it. And for me, coming out of that and being here now, I'm looking at it snowing outside, and I'm so hyped to just go strap in tomorrow and go ride. Even if it's not stellar conditions, it's so lucky to be able to do that. And I'm so hyped to be able to, day in, day out, or every season, just be able to strap in over 100 days. That to me is a win. Drop! I know, yeah, contests suck. I wanted to get my joy back, and I was just willing to do anything for that. Didn't care. I was like, screw the money. If I have to go ride for anyone else, I'm down. Like if I'm making zero money, then I can start here and I know my ability, I know I can get it back. But everyone backed me, and that was like that gave me so much confidence again in my riding that like just completely flipped the switch for me. In today's time, it's easy if you're younger to hop up here at Brighton and go, film some clips of you riding powder, and you could put them out and people are seeing you ride POW and trying. I think back in the day it was pretty tough. You had to be crewed up, and if you weren't in those big film crews, then no one was seeing your footage, So gives people more opportunities, I think. And maybe financially it's a little bit more tough right now, but you can make a name for yourself by just doing your own thing, where before you really, really had to rely on like a Mac Dog to like tap you and be like, yeah, you're in the movie, where now everyone's footage can be seen, and it's kind of like content overload, but at least you can get it out there to people, and yeah, ride whatever you want, because I was struggling with that for sure. Dude, this is the zone. Welcome, dude. Welcome to Brighton. This is like snowboarder heaven here. If you can just do a 180 here and check this out. It's literally designed for snowboarding. There's just cliffs and poppers, boppers, side hits, jumps to be built, and it's kind of the mecca. When I look for something to ride, I'm always looking for these like wiggling in and out of stuff, like finding some gap, and it's like, that's Brighton to a T. Ignorance is bliss. I look back now, hiking out I remember the first day I ever never wore a helmet, didn't wear a helmet, and hiked out of Brighton, no beacon. My mom and dad were like, okay, I guess this is how you do it. Like, we had no idea. So ignorance is bliss. Definitely had probably some sketchy near misses. Yeah, when I switched over to just filming in backcountry, I think I knew the easiest way to just dive in was to take some Abbey courses. And I went to this one that Pat Moore hosts with Jeff Pensiero and John Buffery up in Baldface, and I just fell in love with the process of early season doing Abbey. Just learn about the snow and what temps do and what weather does while you're out in the mountains, because I think it just helps your decision making. And nowadays try to just, pass it along what I do know. Like, I don't have certs or anything, but just pass along knowledge that I've gotten along the way to like younger dudes and younger chicks, whoever wants to learn. I always encourage it. It's like, you can take a class in a couple days and learn so much, and then you can feel good about your decisions you make in the mountains. So
Sage dropping. Can't see shit.
Yeah, it's super cool to like ride with someone like Sage, who has gone from contest snowboarding to backcountry snowboarding. He's such a powerhouse, and yeah, I think there's lots of things to learn from him. It's cool, like, being under his wing and getting to snowboard with him and see just how he rides, how he picks out terrain. I don't know, just like there's so many little intricacies with filming backcountry snowboarding that it's cool to have someone like Sage be your mentor. I mean, I think like the role that Sage plays in my life is just like, right now, is kind of like a mentor, just trying to learn as much as I can from him about backcountry snowboarding, whatever it is, like building a jump lip, learning about picking terrain. Sage is one of many that have like inspired us to ride, or like inspired me and others my age to ride backcountry. I think like him in the modern era, like he's kind of pushing the boundaries of stuff right now, but I think there's always been like that inspiration to go like film outside of contest snowboarding.
Sage performance in natural selection has been really sick to watch. I remember my first year in Jackson, or the first time I went to natural selection, I saw Sage there, and he put down just one run after the other, landed everything. And you could tell that he still had that competition mindset from back in the day. And yeah, he just seemed unbeatable, and yeah, he won that year. And now this year as well, up in Revelstoke, it was the same thing. He just, yeah, put it down. Like, I don't know how his mindset works, but when it's go time, he seems to make it happen every time.
Huge, another big back three. So we have back three, then it looked like a stalefish, then another back three. Still just popping down some of these pillows and see what he gets into in the lower part of the course here.
He put together a really eclectic crew to ride with. Been out with Judd Henkes and Gooch and Jackson Hole, and it shows in that riding.
Oh, beautiful butter right there.
And you know, it's hard to tell, but that bottom part of the line he did was...
I'm 30 now, and there's people that I'm looking up to that are like 40, 41 still doing it. So it gives me motivation. Just there's no end date to where I'm doing. I don't look at the next 7 years or the next 3 years. I just know that I want to snowboard as much as I can and film, do video parts, but most importantly, like pass along knowledge to like the next generation and just help kids like learn that there is the other side of snowboarding, that you can be a guide or film video parts or just love riding, and you don't need to be competing. And I think passing along like what I've found through the ups and downs of everything, and if one person can come out of that and be like, yeah, I don't want to compete anymore and I want to film, or you know, I'm going to keep competing because I love it, and they find that joy in it, I think that would be enough for me. I'd be stoked on that. But just like passing along knowledge of like what I've learned from my career and the ups and downs, that's cool enough for me. Yeah, where snowboarding's heading to is you don't need to pigeonhole yourself into just one realm of it. I think just having yourself show like what you really love and why you snowboard is like so important, because when I got into it, I was just watching video parts. I didn't watch that many contests. I didn't care for contests until I started watching X Games when I was like 10 or 11. But when we first got into it, it was like watching movies and video parts and like JP Walker and Jeremy Jones, and it was like their style that they put into their video parts was way more important to me than like someone winning X Games. Yeah, I feel like when it's dumping, we're out shredding as much as possible and filming, riding POW, and then when it's not, we're just kind of here chilling, riding park. One thing I've learned is do not try to force things. If it's sunny park days, it's sunny park days. If it's POW, game on. But when it's not, it's not. Having this, like watching all the Groms here now is nuts. It's been open for like 4 years, and you can really see like an up and coming scene now where it's like maybe it was a little stagnant before, and this place just, it's magic. Yeah, why do I do what I do? Man, I guess for me, I just don't have like I don't have a switch to flip off. Like, this is my life and I don't know anything else. Like, if you told me I couldn't snowboard, I would find some crazy way to snowboard. It's not about the money, it's not about like the accolades or anything. Like, at the end of the day, it's just like I wake up and the first thing on my mind is like, I'm gonna watch a snowboard video and make some coffee. And that to me is just like the DNA structure of me has like snowboarding in it. And my parents were so hyped on snowboarding, like they kind of just jumped in it with me, and so much of what I won't do and continue to do is just to like to stoke them out. Like I want them to be like proud of something that they dove into as well. And it's something that we all share together, which I think is cool. And that doesn't happen every day. So. But my mind just goes snowboarding every day.
Honestly, can't help it. It's in me. I don't know why, but I just am driven to do what I love, create, just want more. Life never stops, so you can't ever stop until it's time to stop, which is normally out of your control. So just keep it pushing until the wheels fall off.